Surgeon reveals. Do this one exercise for poor leg circulation after 70. Senior Health Podcast. That heavy, swollen, and tired feeling in your legs, especially after the age of 60, might feel like an unavoidable part of getting older. Many people accept it, thinking poor circulation is just something to endure, much like graying hair or slower mornings. However, what often surprises individuals when this is explained in clear terms is that the root of the problem isn't necessarily the heart or the arteries alone. Instead, it frequently lies with a small group of muscles in the lower legs that have become less active and are not performing their crucial function. For decades, a well-established principle in medical training has highlighted the significant role of our calf muscles. They effectively act as a secondary heart for our legs. Each time these calf muscles contract, they play a vital role in assisting blood flow back towards the heart. When these muscles weaken, blood can begin to pool in the ankles and lower legs, leading to the common symptoms of swelling, aching, and that persistent heavy feeling. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology in 2021 demonstrated that older adults experiencing mild circulation issues who engaged in targeted calf muscle activation saw a significant improvement in venous blood return within just a few weeks. The key here is that these participants weren't undertaking strenuous activities like running or intense workouts. They were performing a remarkably simple movement that many overlook because it appears too basic to be effective. While walking is undeniably beneficial for overall health, it doesn't always provide these specific muscles with the necessary stimulation, particularly after the age of 60. This is precisely why many medical professionals quietly advocate for incorporating one particular exercise to actively support leg circulation and alleviate daily discomfort. This exercise, known as gentle seated calf activation, is often the starting point for helping older patients who complain of heavy legs, ankle swelling, or that end-of-day tiredness. Its simplicity is what makes people doubt its efficacy, yet it targets a critical muscle system responsible for leg circulation in later life. Performed while sitting comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor, this exercise requires no standing, posing no balance challenges, and placing no strain on the knees or hips. The action involves gently lifting your heels while keeping the balls of your feet grounded, causing the calf muscles to contract and relax in a controlled manner. These muscles are often referred to as the venous pump of the legs due to their ability to propel blood upward against gravity. In practical terms, this movement is more impactful than most realize. When calf muscles are weak or underutilized, blood can pool in the lower legs, contributing to swelling, pressure, aching, and the heavy sensation many seniors experience. By strengthening and reactivating these muscles, circulation is supported during prolonged periods of sitting, watching television, or traveling. The study in the Journal of Applied Physiology further supported this, showing that simple seated movements, not intense exercise, could effectively signal the muscles responsible for blood flow assistance, leading to improved venous return in older adults with mild circulation problems. To practice safely, sit upright in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Slowly raise your heels as high as comfortable, ensuring your toes remain on the ground. Hold briefly at the top, then lower your heels back down with control. Move at a slow pace and breathe normally, reducing the lift height or taking a break if you experience any cramping. A common pitfall is rushing the movement. The focus should be on slow, controlled repetitions rather than speed. And it's also important to avoid holding your breath, which can diminish the benefits and cause lightheadedness. For older adults, this exercise is instrumental in promoting comfort, confidence, and a greater sense of independence, and can be performed daily, even multiple times, without causing fatigue. Many find their legs feel noticeably lighter and less tight within a few weeks of consistent practice, preparing them for the next stage of improving stability and strength safely. Following the initial awakening of the calf muscles, the subsequent step involves facilitating smoother blood movement through the joints situated just above them. This gentle motion focuses on the coordinated action of the ankles and knees, which is paramount for maintaining efficient circulation in the lower legs as we age. This exercise continues to be performed in a seated position, ensuring it remains safe and accessible. While seated with feet flat on the floor, one leg at a time is slowly drawn back towards the chair, bending the knee, then gently extended forward again until the leg is nearly straight. The movement is deliberately slow and controlled, akin to guiding the joint rather than forcing it. As the knee bends and straightens, the surrounding muscles subtly engage and relax, aiding the blood's upward journey. This is particularly important in daily life, as many older adults spend extended periods with their knees in a relatively static position, especially when seated. Limited knee mobility can impede circulation and contribute to stiffness and swelling below the joint. By re-establishing this natural pattern of bending and straightening, the tendency for fluid to settle in the lower legs is reduced. Research summarized by the Cleveland Clinic indicates that gentle, repeated joint movements enhance venous return and alleviate stiffness in older adults, especially when combined with muscle activation below the knee. The emphasis is not on high intensity, but on consistent, comfortable motion that keeps the joints and surrounding tissues active. To practice, sit upright, using your hands on the sides of the chair for support. Slowly slide one foot back, bending the knee to a comfortable range. Pause briefly, then slide the foot forward again. Alternate legs and repeat. Maintain normal breathing and keep the movement fluid. If any knee discomfort arises, reduce the range of motion and focus on a smaller, pain-free movement. A common error is attempting to force the knee too far or moving too quickly. This exercise should feel soothing, not challenging, much like lubricating a hinge rather than testing its strength. For seniors, this movement contributes to comfort and confidence when standing up, walking, or navigating stairs, building upon the circulatory benefits of the previous exercise and preparing the legs for the next phase, where balance and stability become more significant. Once circulation has been gently encouraged through the calves, ankles, and knees, the next crucial step is to help the legs regain their ability to manage body weight safely and effectively. This movement introduces standing in a controlled manner, without demanding excessive balance or strength beyond what feels comfortable. For this exercise, stand behind a sturdy chair or near a countertop, lightly resting your hands on the support. Keep your feet at about hip-width apart. Gradually shift your weight slightly onto one leg, then gently return to the center, and then shift to the other leg. The movement is subtle and calm. The goal is not to lift your feet or test your balancing capabilities, but rather to teach your legs and hips to share the body's load smoothly. This ability to shift weight is fundamental in daily activities. Every step you take, every turn you make, and every adjustment in your stance requires your body to transfer weight between legs. When this process becomes tentative or uneven, circulation can slow, and the risk of stiffness or discomfort can increase, particularly after extended periods of sitting. Guidance from the Mayo Clinic emphasizes that supported standing exercises improve lower limb circulation and neuromuscular coordination in older adults, especially when balance confidence has diminished. These gentle shifts encourage rhythmic muscle contractions, promoting blood flow without the exertion of more strenuous exercises. To practice, stand tall with a relaxed chest and look straight ahead. Shift your weight slightly to the right, feeling the pressure through your foot, then return to the center. Shift to the left and return again. Keep the movement slow and steady, breathing naturally. If you ever feel unsteady, reduce the size of the shift, or use your hands more for support. A common mistake is locking the knees or leaning the upper body too far. The focus should be on quiet control rather than range or speed, visualizing your weight moving like a smooth, predictable pendulum. For older adults, this exercise enhances balance, circulation, and confidence while standing, building upon the seated movement and preparing the legs for more functional, real-life actions in the subsequent step. After gently reactivating the leg muscles and reintroducing balance, the next progression involves strengthening circulation through a movement that closely mirrors everyday actions. This exercise centers on the controlled act of standing up from a chair, which is a fundamental component for both leg strength and healthy blood flow, particularly after the age of 60. The movement begins while seated in a sturdy chair, with feet flat on the floor, positioned slightly behind the knees. From this position, lean forward just enough to bring your weight over your feet, then slowly rise to a standing position. Once standing, pause briefly, then sit back down with the same controlled motion. Your hands can rest on the armrests or your thighs for added support. In daily life, standing up from a chair occurs numerous times a day. Each instance involves a coordinated contraction of the large muscles in the thighs, hips, and calves. This collective effort is highly beneficial for circulation, as it propels blood upward through the legs while simultaneously building functional strength. When this movement becomes challenging, individuals may tend to avoid it, potentially exacerbating both weakness and circulation issues. Information from Harvard Health Publishing highlights that slow and consistent sit-to-stand movements improve lower body muscle activation and support venous blood flow in older adults, with an emphasis on control over speed, especially for those with joint concerns. To perform this safely, begin with a few repetitions. Stand up slowly, taking approximately 3 seconds to rise, and then sit down even more gradually. Breathe normally and avoid holding your breath. If your knees experience discomfort, reduce the depth of the movement or utilize your hands more for support until strength improves. A common error is rapidly dropping back into the chair, which negates much of the exercise's benefit and can strain the joints. Moving slowly ensures the muscles remain engaged for a longer duration, which is more advantageous for circulation and confidence. For seniors, this exercise significantly supports independence, reduces reliance on assistance, and contributes to legs feeling more active throughout the day, preparing the body for the final exercise where circulation, strength, and daily movement converge in the most impactful way. This final exercise, the controlled heel-to-stand flow, is considered by many clinicians to be exceptionally valuable for leg circulation after 70. Not due to its difficulty, but because it synthesizes all the essential elements for daily leg function. It effectively combines calf activation, weight transfer, and standing strength into a single, fluid, and practical movement. The exercise begins from a standing position, with hands lightly supported on a chair or counter for safety and feet hip-width apart. The sequence starts with slowly lifting the heels slightly, feeling the engagement of the calves, followed by a gentle lowering back down. Next, the knees are bent slightly and then straightened, mimicking the initial motion of sitting down, but choosing to stand tall instead. The movement flows seamlessly from the heel lift to a gentle standing motion, and then back to a relaxed standing posture. This integrated pattern is incredibly important in everyday life. When rising from a chair, stepping forward, or adjusting one's stance, the calves, thighs, and hips must work in unison. This coordinated action not only helps push blood upward through the legs, but also reinforces the strength necessary to maintain independence. Many circulation problems are exacerbated simply because these muscles cease to function together effectively. Guidance from the National Institutes of Health points out that combined lower body muscle activation is more effective in improving venous return and functional mobility in older adults than isolated movements. When multiple leg muscles contract in a controlled sequence, the support for circulation becomes more robust and consistent throughout the day. To practice, stand tall and relaxed. Slowly lift your heels, pause briefly, then lower them. Subsequently, bend your knees slightly and straighten them again. Maintain a smooth and unhurried rhythm, breathing naturally. Begin with a limited range of motion, and only increase it if it feels comfortable. If at any point you feel unsteady, rely more on your hands for support, or reduce the depth of the knee bend. A common mistake is rushing the movement or transforming it into a deep squat. The objective is steady, confident movement that the body can recognize and repeat daily, not pushing physical limits. For older adults, this exercise simultaneously supports circulation, balance, and independence. If one were to select just one movement to enhance leg comfort and strength after 70, this is the one many professionals recommend integrating into a regular routine. As a special bonus, here is an additional movement that is often overlooked but can make a significant difference, especially on days when standing is not preferred. This is the seated ankle circle flow, and it is as gentle as it sounds. It can be performed first thing in the morning before getting out of bed, or at any time after sitting still for an extended period. The reason it is so important is that the ankles are the lowest major joint in the body. When they remain stiff and immobile, blood and fluid face greater difficulty moving back up through the legs. Even small, controlled ankle movements stimulate circulation in the feet and lower legs, which is precisely where pooling often begins. This exercise is done entirely while seated. Sit comfortably with both feet lifted slightly off the floor, just a few inches. Then, slowly rotate one foot in a wide, smooth circle. Perform several rotations in one direction, then reverse. Switch to the other foot and repeat. Keep the circles slow and deliberate, as if drawing with your toes. Breathe normally throughout the movement. Research from the American Heart Association has noted that gentle foot and ankle movements during prolonged sitting help reduce fluid buildup in the lower extremities and support healthy venous return. It is a simple habit, but one that yields cumulative benefits over the course of a day. To practice, gently lift one foot off the floor and rotate the ankle in a full circle, 5 times clockwise and 5 times counterclockwise. Then, switch feet. This completes one set, which can be repeated 2 or 3 times a day without causing fatigue. A common mistake is making the circles too small or too fast. Larger, slower circles engage more of the surrounding tissue and are more effective at encouraging blood flow. Another mistake is tensing the rest of the body. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your breathing easy. For older adults, this bonus movement is particularly beneficial during long car rides, flights, or any situation where getting up is not feasible. It can be done discreetly without drawing attention, all while actively caring for your legs. Consider it your secret tool for maintaining comfort wherever you are. In conclusion, over the past few minutes, we have explored how maintaining good leg circulation after 70 does not depend on strenuous effort or complex workouts. Instead, it begins with gently activating the muscles that aid blood flow, gradually restoring joint mobility, learning to manage body weight with confidence, and finally, integrating these elements into a calm, practical standing movement. Each step builds logically upon the preceding one, as the body naturally prefers. When these movements are practiced consistently, day after day, many older adults report that their legs feel lighter, less stiff, and more dependable. Standing up becomes easier, prolonged sitting becomes more comfortable, and walking feels more assured, not due to forceful exertion, but because the body has been reminded of its innate functional capabilities. Circulation improves, not through intensity, but through clarity and repetition. The long-term advantages extend beyond mere comfort. Supporting leg circulation is crucial for preserving balance, reducing the fear of falling, and maintaining the ability to move independently. These are not minor considerations. They are what enable individuals to remain active in their homes, enjoy time with loved ones, and navigate daily life without the constant concern of their legs hindering them. Aging does not necessitate surrendering control. Rather, it involves selecting movements that respect the body's current state while still encouraging adaptation. Small, intentional practices like these can quietly bolster health for years to come. We are eager to hear from you. Which aspect of leg discomfort affects you the most currently? Heaviness, swelling, or fatigue? Please share your age and location in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please indicate by typing 1. And if not, feel free to type 0 so we can improve our content. Your feedback is invaluable. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more health-focused content. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.